If the last owner of this property had the mineral rights, you get them today. If they didn't, you don't. If you're buying something today that's a condominium, there's what's called a master deed on record. That will sometimes, it always will specify what you can and can't do with that property. The master deed still is in place. If we've got something contaminated, I don't think we do today. Sometimes the DEQ will have liens against it for cleanup. They'll have access rights agreements or restrictions on what you can or cannot do with the property. If there are DEQ things of record, those are still there as well. If there's a bonded special assessment, sometimes property has an assessment created around it. It's in a district for things like paving streets or putting in new water or sewer lines or things of that nature, and they spread the payments out over a period of years. If the property has a special assessment, if we're aware of it, it's listed in your sale book, and you're inheriting the unpaid balance. Any past installments of bonded special assessment payments are included in today's price. Future installments that have not yet been billed are not, and you inherit those. If the property is subject to zoning or other local ordinances, those still apply. You cannot buy something today, declare it a sovereign nation, and tell the city that you're exempt from your ordinances. It doesn't work. Deed restrictions, we've had people try. We've had people try just about everything. Deed restrictions, property owner association and homeowner association covenants. If it's in a development that has HOA fees, you still have to pay them, effective April the 2nd. If you buy something today and it's got crops on it, we're selling some property in various parts of the state this year that have some crops on it. If you buy a piece of property and it's got crops on it that were planted this year, a seasonal crop, something like corn, you are obligated to let the person that planted it harvest it. It's not your crop. It's not included in the sale. A multiple year crop, something like Christmas trees or nursery stock, is yours. That's a fixture with the land. A crop planted this year belongs to the person that planted it. We're reserving the right in the sale today for them to come and get it. We've had people go to court over this before. It's really not worth doing. However, if you buy something today and go out there later this afternoon and you discover 50 8-foot tall marijuana plants, don't call me. I got nothing to do with it. Please know what you're buying. We have people that come to the sale that either done no homework or they've done very little. They haven't really vetted what they're looking at. They bought it because it looked nice in a picture. Somebody told them it was great. They buy it and then they want their money back. This ain't Walmart. You can't bring it back next week. When you buy it today, you've made your decision, you paid for it, it is yours. We're selling you property today by the legal description that's listed in the book that's in your hands. Everything in there either has a measured description or it's a subdivision name and a lot number. That's what you're buying. No guarantees, no warranties. If you think that it's something other than what it is, it's yours. You can't bring it back. Do not bid based on a picture or an address. Make sure you understand what that legal description and you have vetted it and you know exactly what you're buying. That one in that picture right there is something we're going to sell this year in a couple of weeks. How many of you know where Grand Marais is? Up in the beautiful spot, isn't it? We are selling that lot on Lake Superior in a couple of weeks. Waterfront on Lake Superior. You can look it up on a plat map, boy, it's right there on the shore. I'll bet, and we've sold a piece not far from this before, and somebody paid us almost $20,000 for it. That might seem cheap to you for Lake Superior frontage. You could buy that and set your chair up there with your little cup of cocoa and sit there and watch the sun go down over Lake Superior. It'd be an outstanding deal. But if you hadn't done your homework, you might have got yourself a pig in a poke. That's the frontage right there. See how beautiful that is? Sitting there right on Lake Superior. But if you didn't do your homework until after the sale and you went out to that piece of property and walked right up to the edge there right next to those trees, only then would you discover that it goes straight downhill about 100 feet into the water. It's eroded. And if you look over here, this is what you're buying. And that lot you're getting right there, this is your hillside. This right here is underneath Lake Superior. You got about enough room to set up a camp chair. Anybody want to give me 20 grand for that? If you do, follow me up to Grand Marais next week. We'll be there. I'll take your money. These properties can have a lot of problems. Most of them are here on purpose. Just because it looks good from the outside, you might be buying yourself all kinds of trouble inside. You can have lead-based paint in a property. Anything constructed before the middle 1980s probably does. You can have asbestos, infestation, missing fixtures, bad roofs, bad foundations, wells that are not even on the property, they're on the neighbor's property over the line, no road to get to the property, all kinds of easement and boundary line issues and underground storage tanks, and you name it. And this piece of property right here on your screen is the only one that I've ever seen that has every problem on that list. And because people don't do their homework, we have sold that piece of property 3 times. Somebody gives us good money for that, and then 3 years later, it's right back. I'm disappointed to tell you that we are not offering this property this year. If you've ever been to Ontonagon County, it's up there. It's in a place called Bruce Crossing. It's right behind Mr. Usumaki's place off US 45. It's got every problem on that list right there. We tried selling it last year. People got wise, and finally nobody bought it because I told them about it just in a picture just like this. So I'm disappointed to tell you that we cannot sell you that piece this year. But if you go 10 miles up the road to Mass City, we've got that one. And I'll almost guarantee you that somebody's going to buy it. And 3 years from now, we're going to be selling it again because they're not paying attention. Don't be that guy. Make sure you know what you're bidding on. All sales are final. There are no refunds. There's no sale cancellation. If you buy something and then afterward you figure out that it was an old gas station, it's got leaking underground storage tanks on it, or like some that we've sold in the past, it's got about 50,000 used tires buried out of view, it's yours. Thanks for buying. When we sell property today, here's how we're going to do it. Everybody's got a copy of that sale book in your hand. We have had you go through the clerk stations out front and tell them which pieces you're here to bid on. We know which ones are the most popular. We know which. I've got a piece of property today that I've got 25 bids on before the sale even opened. We're going to take those pieces of property and move them to the front and clear a lot of these chairs out. We know what the most popular pieces are. We're going to sell those first, and then we're going to go back to the beginning of the book. We will then go through the book in order, skipping the pieces nobody in this room wants to bid on. There are going to be some pieces in here where that minimum bid is way more than that property's worth and nobody wants it. They might not want it at any price. We have stuff underwater. We have stuff that's 2 feet wide, stuff that nobody in their right mind would want to buy. That doesn't mean somebody in this room won't. But we're going to try to figure out which ones those are and skip them if nobody wants them. So that makes the sale go a little quicker. So we're going to sell the popular pieces first, then we're going to go back and sell them in order, skipping the ones that nobody wants to bid on. When we open a property up for bidding, here's how it works. Here's the nuts and bolts of how this sale is going to work today. In your book, you're going to see a number that says minimum bid. It's that second to the rightmost column. That is what that piece of property owes the county in back taxes. Sometimes there's been some maintenance done, some lawns mowed, windows boarded up. They might have hauled off some garbage. Whatever that piece of property owes the county, the delinquent tax revolving fund, that's what that minimum bid is. We're going to open the bidding at that price. We cannot sell for any less than that price. If I've already got a bid online and it's higher than that, we're going to open at that higher bid. Once the bidding is open, the bidding increases by the amounts you see on the screen. Until we hit $1,000, it goes up at least $50 at a time in round numbers. $350, $400, $450, $500. Between $1,000 and $10,000, it goes up at least $100 at a time in round numbers. Once we're over the $10,000 mark, it goes up at least $250 at a time. The people bidding online have to bid in these increments. It's only fair that you do as well. You can do something that the online bidders can't do, and that's something called jumping the bid. Sometimes we'll get something that's really popular, and I got a bunch of people in the room that are really interested in it. I may ask if you want to increase your bid by more than those increments, or you could do it voluntarily. If there's a bunch of people in the room and something's at $800, and I got $850 and $900 and $950 and $1,000, and you want it really bad, and you stand up in the back of the room and shout out $127,500, that's called jumping the bid. And it works. Feel free to do it on every property. This is important stuff. This is kind of the bad news for somebody in this room. Some of you are not legally allowed to buy today. The legislature has gotten tired of people that come to these sales and they don't buy this because it's something that they want or they have a use for. They're buying it because they can get a deal on it, try to sell it and make some money. And between the time that they sell it, between the time that they buy it here today and the time that they sell it, if they do at all, they don't mow the grass, they don't pay the taxes, they don't take care of it at all. To them, it's just a piece of inventory. The state doesn't want us to sell these to you, and they have made a law that covers that, and they put some teeth in it. You cannot buy at this sale today. You can't bid on property, you can't pay for it, you can't write the check, you can't have your name on the deed, you can't have anything to do with anything sold today if you own any other property in these 3 counties that has any delinquent tax on it. If you owe the government delinquent taxes on another piece of property, you are ineligible to buy today. If you buy anyway, if your name shows up on the report outside as being somebody that's going to be listed on the deed, if you write us a check today and you have delinquent taxes, your sale is going to be canceled. It's the law, and we're going to do it. That also applies if you have unpaid civil fines. What's that, you say? What's that fancy word? If you have a bunch of property, and let's say that on one of them, you keep your antique car collection, which the township supervisor has deemed are junk automobiles because they're not registered, and he told you to remove them and you did not. You said, oh, take a hike, and he had the tow truck company come and haul them off, and they sent you a bill and you have not paid it. You can't bid today either. Also, that includes people that have been banned here in the past for bad checks, for bad attitudes, for generally not getting along. If you are in any of those categories, you can't bid today. And if we discover that you did, we're going to cancel your sale. And as an extra special bonus, you don't get Ginsu knives. There's a criminal penalty involved for bidding today if you have delinquent taxes. We'll tell you what that is in a minute. That includes being with somebody that's bidding. If you came here today with your brother-in-law because you've got 14 rentals and they're all tax delinquent, you brought somebody with you, and I see you elbowing him and his bid card goes up every time you elbow him, we might ask you to stop bidding. You can't bid for somebody else that has delinquent taxes. You can't make the payment, you can't fund the payment, you can't be listed on the deed, and they've kind of spread the description or the definition of who can't bid out a little bit too. It's kind of a wide net. If you've got, here's the one that catches people all the time. If you've got property in these 3 counties today that you have sold to somebody else on a land contract and you're the deed holder and their taxes aren't paid, it doesn't matter that it's their job to pay them. You're the deed holder. You have an interest in a property with delinquent taxes. You can't bid today. This includes property that you co-own with other people. It includes property that you have a business interest in, unless if you have shares of stock in some big corporation and that corporation owns property with delinquent taxes, that's not included because you're not really involved in the management of that. If you have a direct control over a piece of property by a title interest or a business interest and it's got delinquent taxes, we can't sell to you today. It's against the law for us to do so. We have several ways for people to bid today. You guys are in the room. You brought your checkbooks with you. You've got that bid card. You're ready to go. We have people that have bid online before today's sale. That bidding closed at 11 o'clock this morning. I have those bids in front of me. I know which pieces they'll bid on, how many bidders, where that starting bid is going to go, and how high they'll bid. I've got that right here, right now. We also have people that'll bid live against you online today. I can usually tell whether I'm dealing with an advance online bid or one that's live. On top of that projector in the middle of the room is a little tripod. There's a camera on there with a microphone built in. They can see and hear this auction right now online. If they've given us a $1,000 credit card authorization, they can bid against you in real time. We sometimes have paper absentee bids. We don't have any of those today that I'm aware of. Sometimes people can't make it to the sale. They don't trust the internet. Maybe they couldn't get here. They called at the last minute. They gave us a credit card pre-authorization. Sometimes we will bid for them by a paper absentee bid. I want to remind the people bidding online, especially today, our internet's a little slow here today. If you're bidding online and you're doing it live, you're watching us on the camera, don't use that feed for your reference of what's happening here. use the text on your screen to let you know what's going on. And if you're not getting through, if your internet connection is slow and ours is too, you're probably not going to get through at all. Be very careful what you're doing. Please watch the text on your screen. Your bid today is a legally binding contract. We reserve the right to cancel or reject any and all bids on property. We do not reopen the bidding once something has been sold. We reserve the right to reject the bids of any person that appears to be acting for somebody that is not eligible to buy today. My favorite rule, that the decisions of the auctioneer are final. There are no tie bids. Any bid not received when the hammer comes down and we say sold is not valid. If you're here in this room and you want to bid on something, you've got that yellow bid card. Make sure your bid is seen and heard. I'm going to give you a little hint here before we get started, which is that I am not an auctioneer. I'm not here selling cattle today. I am not going to get up and do the yabba dabba doo. I speak English. I'm going to be pointing at whoever's winning. It's going to be very obvious who the winning bidder is and what that price is. And if you're trying to buy something and I say going once, going twice, and you're back there and I'm pointing over here, you are not winning. It's your job to make sure that I get your bid. If you need to shout it out, do that. If you need to hold that card up and wave it around, do that too. If you're in the back row and you're winking at me, I don't know if you're trying to bid or ask me out on a date. Make it clear. If you win today, you have to pay today. You have to pay in full today. Don't come up afterward and ask me when the closing date is, because I can tell you now, it's today. You're going to give us payment in full within about 30 minutes of the time that we're done. When we're done selling today, we're going to wait for everybody to check out, and when we don't see anybody hanging around, we're going to leave. We've had people tell us before that they're coming back, and after waiting in the lobby for 4 days, we decided it was time to go. We don't play that game anymore. If you can't pay today, if you did not come prepared to pay, you shouldn't be bidding. If you're bidding online, there's a little different rule for the settlement of that. You're going to get an email within 24 hours. It'll probably come your way tonight about 10 or 11 o'clock Eastern time. It'll have a link on it. You can click and fill the stuff in and give us a credit card payment or tell us how you're paying, and boom, it'll be done. So if you're bidding online, it's a little bit different. The first $1,000 you're going to give us today, if you're bidding here in the room, is going to be a certified check. It's going to be a cashier's check or something of that nature. It's from the bank. It's non-refundable. It's your deposit. If you buy more than one piece, I only need one of these. $1,000 on your combined purchases in certified funds is your deposit. The balance over and above that will take personal or business checks. We'll take money orders, cashier's checks, or credit cards. We will take Visa, MasterCard, and Discover cards only today. We don't take cash anymore. I got lots of stories, most of them aren't very funny, about problems we've had with cash. People bring in a great big whole big bag full of it to the sale and they lose it. People giving us a big old bag of cash that wasn't even real. Can't imagine that, can you? And a few people that came to the sale that paid in cash. And then a couple months later, I get a call from the IRS because they had not had a reported taxable income since 1974. And they want to know where they got that money from. And it's called money laundering. And I'm not going to be party to that. So we just found it easier to no longer accept cash. It's for your safety and ours as well. So it's very simple. If you win, here's how the math works today. If you got X amount of dollars with you and you're concerned about going over your limit, here's the math you got to do while you're sitting in that chair and bidding on something to make sure. You might want to do the math in advance so you know exactly where you're at. There's going to be a final bid price arrived at here in the room. There are 3 things that are added to it. There's a 10% buyer premium. That's the cost of the sale. $30 is what it costs in Michigan for us to record the deed to that property with the Register Deeds Office and send it back to you. The Michigan law also now requires us to charge you and collect here today the summer tax bill for that property. That number is listed in your sale book at the end of each description. It says summer tax due. So if you want to know what you're going to pay today, it's going to be the final bid price plus 10%. Then you add the summer tax bill and add $30. We're not adding 10% on those 2 things, just on the final bid. Bid price plus 10%, plus $30 plus the summer tax. When you leave here today, all the taxes on the property will be paid up until the winter tax bill for 2018. When it's time to check out, most of you came prepared. You've got your $1,000 cashier's check. You read everything online. You picked up the book at the treasurer's office. You know what you're doing. You got your $1,000 cashier's check. You're going to write us a check for the difference. Some of you might have come completely unprepared. You might not have brought a dime with you. Why you go to the sale of the money, I don't know. But some people do that. If you need to leave the building to pay, let the clerks know what your bidder number is and how long it's going to take for you to get back, and give them a cell phone number so that we're not waiting for you. There's paperwork involved here. Obviously, you're buying something today. We're going to need to know what name to put on the deed. Most of you have been on the website. You've looked at the pictures, read the description, saw where it was, went out and drove around, took a look at things. You may have gone through the process of putting your deed information on the website, the names that are going to be listed on the deed to the property that you buy today. If you have not taken that step on the website, you have to fill out this form that's in the back of your book. It's pretty confusing. It says deed information right across the top. It's easy to find. You need to give us the legal names of the people that are going to be listed on the deed to the property. Do not use your nickname. Use your full legal name, just the way maybe that it's listed on your driver's license. If mama named you William, but all your friends call you Bubba, don't put Bubba on this form. Use your full legal name, because that's the way it's going to be listed on the deed to the property. Fill it out before you get in line. It keeps things moving a little better out there. If you're buying property today with somebody else and you're not married to them, you're buying deer camp with a friend, you're buying a piece of property with a business partner or an investment partner, and it's somebody that you're not married to, the law requires us to list on the deed the form of tenancy that's involved. That word confuses people because they automatically think, oh, tenancy, it's got something to do with renting. It does not. Tenancy is a form of ownership. There are 3 options if you're buying something today with somebody that you're not married to. Basically, what you're telling us is what happens to the title to that property when one of the owners dies. Everybody in this room is going to go sooner or later. If there are 2 or more people buying a piece of property and one of them passes away, there are several things that can happen to their ownership in that property. It either goes to that person's heirs or the surviving owners inherit it from them. You have to tell us. We have to put it on the deed. It's listed in your sale book what those options are. They're on your screen. If you're buying something today with other co-owners, they're going to ask you to declare a tenancy. That's what they are. Please pick one out. When you leave here today, you're not buying a car or a camper. We don't give you the title when you leave. There isn't one. There's no such thing as a title on a piece of real estate. It's a deed. There's a new one created every time it's sold. You're not leaving with one in your possession today because we haven't created it yet. We're just getting the information from you to make the deed. We have to send it to the county, to the registered deeds. They're going to record it. They're going to send it back to you. You're not going to even have that deed for about 6 weeks. What you're going to leave here with today is a receipt. The receipt you leave here with today is your contract of purchase. It's how you can prove that you bought and paid for this property today. You're going to be signing this agreement at the bottom, and they're going to ask you to initial it in several spots. When you are reviewing your contract, your agreement, your receipt, it's a whole couple pages. It's got a lot of fine print. I'm going to tell you right now what the high spots are so you don't have to take 4 hours to read it out there. First of all, they're going to ask you to initial it, verifying that the information on it is correct. The key points are this. Look at your name. Look at your address. Look at the list of properties you bought, that 4-digit number that's in the left-hand column in the sale book, and look at the math. Look at the prices that you paid for it. If there's a different number on there, surprise, you're going to get a different piece of property than what you bought. You want to make sure that your name is spelled correctly, that your address is correct, including the zip code. If it's wrong on that receipt, you're going to get a messed up deed, and then you're going to come back and need it fixed, and we can avoid all that if we just do it right now. So they're going to ask you to review that information, verify that it's correct, and then initial it in a spot indicating that. Make sure that you actually read it. Don't just take it for granted. If you got somebody else with you, you might want to have them take a look at it too. You're going to initial it in a different spot, accepting the terms of the sale. all the things that are in the sale book and the rules and regulations, the things we're talking about now. You're acknowledging that we told you about them, that you agree to them, that they're binding, they're part of the sale. You're agreeing that even if you didn't do it, even if you didn't do any homework at all, you're going to be agreeing in another spot that we've given you the opportunity. Nobody brought you here today blindfolded and made you buy a piece of property against your will that you didn't see. You had the opportunity to go look at it. Whether you did or not, it's not relevant. You are an informed buyer. You're agreeing to that today, that you're buying every piece of property today as is in every respect. You didn't look at it, you bought it. It's got an address in that book. You come up after the sale and ask me where the keys are for a vacant lot. That's what I'm talking about. You're buying everything as is here today, including, we've had this happen too. If you buy something today and at the very instant that you're buying it, it's on fire, it's all yours. As is, no refunds. Here's an important one at the end. We are going to be selling stuff today that's got buildings on it, unoccupied buildings. We should tell you, and it's the law. The law says this very specifically about this sale today. You are not the owner when you leave here today. The treasurer, by law, has the right to cancel today's sale if we need to, and it happens very, very seldom. We have the right to cancel the sale until the time the deed is delivered to you by the Postal Service. That is going to be 6 weeks. We should tell you, and they used to tell you, that if you buy at the sale, you can't walk in the door to that piece of property until you have that deed. We should tell you that. We should make you sign a piece of paper agreeing to that and take a blood oath and a pinky promise in the whole 9 yards. We could go through that whole process, and we know how this works because we've been doing it an awful long time. If we make you sign a piece of paper that says that, you're going to be in there by 4 o'clock this afternoon anyway, because that's how this works. You buy it today, you pay for it today, you're going to be in a big hurry to get over there and fix it up and make it pretty because it's going to snow next week. It could. It's Michigan. So we understand your ambition to get in there and fix this property up. But here's the agreement we're going to make with you because we know that you're going in anyway. This is the agreement. We're giving you possession of the property today, but it's for purposes of supervision, security, and inspection only. You're going to go into the property, you're going to let yourself in. This is for unoccupied property where there's nobody else already there. We'll talk about the other kind in a minute. You have permission to enter the property for purposes of securing it. You can change the locks, you can put up a no trespassing sign. If it's got a broken window and you want to board it up, that's fine. Do not spend a bunch of money on this property until you have that deed. You're not the owner, you're a guest. You're there by written permission to supervise and secure that property. If you spend a nickel on one of these properties before you get the deed and the sale has to be canceled, you bought somebody else a new roof. Don't do it. We've had that happen. It's very seldom. We sell in about 70 counties in Michigan. Thousands of pieces of property. Many years we'll have 1 or 2 that can't be canceled. That's about all out of all of them. Because sometimes right after the sale, we'll get somebody calling and say, hey, I was protected by the bankruptcy court in New Mexico. Well, nobody told us. Sometimes we'll get a call after the sale and somebody's shown up and they've changed the locks and they're mowing the lawn, and the neighbor comes over and says, well, that lady's got a guardian. She's up in the nursing home, and the guardian didn't know anything about it and never called us to check on the taxes. If we didn't have the legal right to sell the property, we have to cancel the sale and you're going to get back what you paid today, not anything that you put into the property since then. Don't spend money on these until you have the deed. It could be 6 weeks. Between now and then, you are going to be releasing the seller from injury, loss, or damage while you're on the property. You're indemnifying them. We're going to give you early possession because you're going to take it anyway. And while you're there, you're releasing the county from liability for injury, loss, or damage. Again, make sure, first of all, that you're not spending big money on this property because it is at risk if the sale is canceled. And let me please beg you again to make sure you know what you're bidding on. This is one of my favorite stories. Grand Rapids. Several years ago, maybe almost 10 years ago now, we had 2 guys came to the sale. They had a piece of property all picked out that they were going to buy. They'd been watching those late night TV shows. They were gonna get that property fixed up in 30 days and flip it and make a big pile of money. They came to the sale. It was on a Friday in Grand Rapids. They successfully purchased that property. They were geeked. I think they'd been drinking espresso all afternoon. They had been out to that property before the sale. They had measured that building. They knew how many square roof shingles they needed. They had the windows measured, ordered in the back of the truck, ready to go. Nothing was going to stop them. They worked on that property all weekend like a dog. When Monday came around, they had that place whipped into some pretty good shape. A little later Monday morning, the guy that lived across the street called the treasurer's office and said, I was just over to this house across the street that these guys have spent the whole weekend remodeling. I was gone this weekend. Somebody should let them know that they just remodeled the wrong house. They had bought the one next door. The house they remodeled was owned by the guy who was gone all weekend. He was very appreciative. Please know what you're buying today. You're not the owner until you have the deed. We told you about this part. This is, we're almost getting ready to start selling you stuff. We told you earlier, you can't bid today if you have delinquent taxes. This is the teeth in that law. As the final part of your checkout today, after they make you assume liability for going into the property and agree that you're not going to fix it up until you have the deed, they are going to ask you point blank if you have any delinquent taxes or any association with any property in these counties that has delinquent taxes, and you're going to say, no, I don't. The clerks are notary publics. What you're doing when you're telling them that you have no delinquent taxes is making a sworn statement before a notary public. If you misrepresent your delinquent tax position in front of a notary public in a sworn statement, they have a word for that in Michigan law. It's called perjury. Perjury in Michigan is a felony. In addition to having your sale canceled, if you do have delinquent taxes on any other property in the counties, your sale is going to be canceled, your file is going to be forwarded to the prosecuting attorney for felony perjury investigation. You don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. I'd like to take my days off without sitting in court saying, yes, he was there. It's a bad idea. If you have delinquent taxes, please just don't bid today, and don't bid for somebody else that does. After the sale, this is in the back of your book. It's your homework. You have to take it with you. You're not doing this today. You're going to do this later on. You've got 45 days to fill that form out. It's the Michigan Property Transfer Affidavit. This is a notice to the local assessor that the property has been sold and it's time for him to reassess its valuation. You're going to tell them your name and address, where you want the tax bill sent in the future. You're going to tell them how much you paid for it. The seller today, you are buying it from the Michigan Department of Treasury. That's what you're going to put in there for the name of the seller today. You're going to put in there that you're getting it on a deed. You're going to tell them how much you paid, the day that you bought it. You've got 45 days to fill this out and send it on in, and they'll adjust the taxes, and from now on, they'll be perfectly assessed accurately. Does anybody really believe that? Okay. I went to a sale one time. It was in Barrick, no, it was in Unison. I had a room about this size, full of people. And I said, how many people in this room think that every piece of property that they've got is properly assessed? One hand, right down front. And I looked at him and I said, I bet you're an assessor, aren't you? And he said, yes, sir. They're always a little off. Title insurance. Do you need title insurance when you buy a piece of property? You do not have to have title insurance. If you are buying a piece of property today for your own personal use, you're buying it, you plan on using it for a while, you're going to keep it for a few years, maybe you're parking a boat on it, maybe it's adjacent to something you already own and you're just paying a few $100s for it, you don't have to have title insurance. You need title insurance if you are going to be dealing with a lender or trying to sell this property in the near future. If you need title insurance, you can go to a local title insurance agency. The response you get from them could be very different depending on the specific agency and their experience with tax averted property. They may ask you to file a quiet title lawsuit action against the former owner to clear title. You don't need to do that. They might ask you to go to the former owner and buy a deed, get a deed from them. You don't have to do that either. Some title insurance agencies are going to be making it a whole lot more difficult, a lot more hoops to jump through than others. If you don't have any luck with a local agent, and we understand that you may want to work with them because you know them, they're close by, you can pick them up, call them on the phone, it's not long distance, and go ahead. If they'll issue the policy easily, cheaply, quickly, by all means do it. If you get into a quagmire, we're going to give you a few names and numbers that you can call that's a shortcut. If you think you're going to be refinancing this property, you're buying a piece of land, you want to build a house on it, you're going to borrow against the land to build the house, you're going to have title insurance. If you're buying something today that you're going to fix up and sell to somebody and they're going to finance it to pay you off, you're going to need title insurance. If you can't get it locally, try some of these. First American Title in Detroit has an office that specifically deals in tax reverted property. They have access to our foreclosure files online. They can go look at the foreclosure process and who was notified and see all the email receipts of everything that came in and went back out. And you can contact them and they can do it quick and efficiently. A company out of California called Tax Title Services actually issues an insurance policy for the insurance company so that they'll give you title insurance. Not the cheapest way to go, but they'll cover just about anything. There's one in Grand Rapids. The name has been changed. It's now Sun Title, S-U-N. They deal in this stuff a lot. Devon Title Company has offices across the state of Michigan. They're experienced in this. And there's a new player right there in the middle, the SNP Title Agency. I don't remember which underwriter they're working for, but snptitle.com. They've told us that they will write title insurance on properties anywhere in the state of Michigan that have been through this process. They also have access to our database. They can look at the foreclosure process. You don't have to call Gordy up at Peninsula Title up there in Iron Mountain. He's not going to write on anything below the bridge. You can skip that one. If you leave here today only remembering one thing out of everything that I've told you this afternoon, it should be that date. April the 3rd is the day that the treasurer, the FGU, the Michigan Department of Treasury in this case, became the owner of this property. If you hear from anybody after you bought this, you started working on it, somebody shows up asking what you're doing on their property. Somebody shows up and points at the house and says, I put that roof on that house for that guy 3 years ago and he never paid me. You owe me $18,000. Well, by golly, you don't. They can go talk to the judge. Anything that happened before that date is not your responsibility. It's not your bill. It's not your problem. They can get off your lawn. There's a judgment on file at the courthouse that's effective the end of April 2nd that clears all that stuff away. If somebody shows up, the first thing you should ask them is when. When did somebody owe you money? When did we have people that lose property for unpaid taxes and then sell it to some sucker? And somebody will show up and say, I bought this house from the guy 3 weeks ago. Well, gee, he has known it since April. That's nice of him to sell it to you. Did you get a title search done? Did you check the taxes? No. Well, they just threw their money away. If you hear from somebody, it all comes back to that date. If it's before that date, the judge has disposed of it. If it's after that date, it's your obligation. If there's a condominium assessment against the property, if it's got homeowner association fees, if there are municipal utility charges that arise after that date, they're yours. You're accepting them as part of the deal today. If it's from before that date, it's gone. You buy something and it's in a subdivision that has an HOA fee. The last owner didn't pay it for 3 or 4 years and they send you the bill. That is not your bill, except after that date. From before that date, it's gone. This is an important one right here. If you are buying something that is served by municipal water or sewer. In some situations, some municipalities may have electricity or trash collection as well. If you buy something that's got city water or sewer service, we're still trying to teach these people the law too. The law says this: they cannot make you pay somebody else's old water bill. And in addition to that, they cannot refuse to turn it on because you won't. Their liens for water and sewer, it doesn't matter that it's on their books that says that the plumbing froze last year and the water ran in the basement for months and months and months, and there's a $2,000 water bill and they want you to pay it. That's irrelevant, what they think. What the law says is that their lien gets treated just like everything else, and if it's from before that date, it's gone. The Attorney General says so. There's a number at the top of that screen. If you're buying something today and it's got city water or city sewer connection, do yourself a favor and write down 7258. Keep that handy somewhere till you've got that water turned on. This is a Michigan Attorney General opinion number. You can Google it right now while you're sitting there and print it out when you get home tonight. Michigan Attorney General Opinion 7258 says a municipality, a municipal utility cannot, A, make you pay somebody else's bill. Their recourse is against the person that ran up the water bill, not against you. It does not attach to the property. It's not your obligation. And secondly, they cannot require you to turn it on. They cannot require you to pay it to turn it on. It's not your responsibility. Michigan Attorney General Opinion 7258, utility liens are canceled as of April the 2nd. Possession, we talked about it. You're going to get possession today, subject to the right of any occupants. Michigan does not recognize something called a squatter. If you get there today and there's somebody in the property, they are legally termed as an occupant. You have to evict them or negotiate that they would leave. A lot of people call that cash for keys. You give them a few $100s, they move on down the road. Don't pay them till their stuff's in the truck and they're headed down the driveway. They might take your money and go to the casino and you be coming back thinking they're gone and they're still there. It's also good if you're going to give somebody money to move out that's an occupant, do a little walkthrough before you give them that check. Make sure they didn't take the furnace with them, because they'll do that too. So possession, if it's unoccupied, you get possession to the day. Today, I should say. But keep in mind that you do not own it until you have the deed. What happens if you buy something and it's still got somebody in it? Or if you didn't know it had somebody in it and you get there today and it did? You can't go up there and just threaten and tell them that they have to move. I had a treasurer just the other day tell me that somebody bought something at the sale after sitting through this discussion and went up there anyway and knocked on the door, and a 10-year-old child answered. She was home alone and they just walked right on in. I think they're going to jail. That's called trespassing. If there's somebody in a piece of property, even if you own it today, they have a right to be there until you evict them or negotiate their leaving. But if there's somebody there, should you just march right up to that door and bang on and start chopping at them? I don't think that's a very smart idea. There are several kinds of people that you can find in an occupied property. One of them is going to be a renter. A renter is generally not going to be controversial. They know it's for sale. They know it's going to be sold probably today. They're kind of expecting somebody to show up. Other people that might be in these properties are going to be friends or relatives of the former owner. They're probably not paying anything to stay there other than utilities. They also are expecting somebody to show up. There may be a former owner occupant in the property. In many of those situations, they're resigned to the fact that it's going to be sold today. They know they didn't pay their taxes. They just didn't have the ability to. They also know that you're going to show up. You're going to have to work something out with them. They're aware of that. They're not going to be happy. They're going to be a little disappointed. They may even be here today trying to buy it back, and you outgun them. Those are sometimes sad situations, a little emotional, but they're not controversial. The fourth situation is the one you have to worry about a little bit. We do get properties where the people in them do not recognize the right of the government to tax their property. They certainly do not think this is a valid sale, and they might oppose, threaten, or harm you when you walk up to that door. You should be very careful when you go up to a property about who is on the other side. My advice to you is this: if you're buying something today and it's listed in our book as being occupied, or if you get there and it's clear that it is, don't just walk up to the door and bang on it. It may not be safe. They may not be stable. They could be angry. They could be armed. My advice to you is this: go find a neighbor. Every piece of property has somebody in that neighborhood who's going to know who lives there, whether they're approachable, and if they're not, whether there's some other method to get in touch with them. Every neighborhood's got somebody that can give you the lowdown on who's in there, whether it's the owner, a renter, where they work, how to get in touch with them, whether they're stable. Go find that person. before you just go up to knock on that door, unless you already know what the situation is. But every neighborhood, generally speaking, has somebody that knows everything else going on in that neighborhood, in every house. They're nosy. They can't, it's their business to make sure that they know everybody else's. And if you live in a neighborhood that doesn't have a person like that, I'm willing to bet that it's you. Get the information on who's in there before you knock on the door. We've never had anybody that I know of injured in one of these situations. We don't want you to be the first one. What you're buying today, you are buying from us today a piece of land. It's described in the book that's in your hands. That's what you're buying. You are not buying an address. You're not buying a photograph. You're buying a piece of land. You're buying whatever is physically attached to that land that was owned by the last person that owned it, the people that got notice. That's what you're buying. You're buying a piece of land, buildings, driveways, septic tanks, the air conditioner. That's what you're buying today. There are some things that may be here that are not attached, things that are separately titled or separately owned that you are not buying today. You are not buying the Culligan man's water softener. The last guy that owned the property didn't own it. We don't own it. We can't sell it or even give it to you. So what you are buying is a piece of land and the physical attachments that were things owned by the last property owner. You're buying all of those things as is. You are not buying anything on that property that's ever had wheels under it. You're not buying anything on that piece of property that is separately titled. You are not buying appliances, hot tubs, automobiles, motorcycles, boats, RVs, anything of that nature. If it's something that can be moved off the property without the use of tools, if it's ever had wheels under it, if it's ever had a separate title, if somebody can pick it up and carry it away, it's not ours. We didn't tax it. We didn't foreclose on it. We can't sell it to you. We can't even give it to you. If you find something on the property that's of value, you must give the people that had that property before an opportunity to come and get their stuff. There is no rule. There is no set amount of time. There's no specific method you have to use. But if you buy a piece of property, we've got one for sale in a week or two. It's up in Wexford County. I went around there and one of the neighbors came up to me when I was taking pictures of it. He said, you know, he said, when that guy left, there was a brand new bass boat sitting in that garage, still had the tags on it. It's still there, as far as I know. That's not included. If you take that bass boat and give it to your brother-in-law or sell it on Craigslist, and that guy comes back and takes you to court for the value of that boat, you're going to owe him a bunch of money. You should make an effort. You should document it so that if you do get dragged into court because you got rid of something, you can seem like you were the reasonable person that made an effort to contact them and let them come and get it. And if they don't, then it's a separate thing. But make that effort. You don't want to be the guy that's in trouble. Part of this description here is something I kind of need to drive home, and I don't know how many of these we might have today, but we may have mobile, modular, or manufactured homes today that we're selling. Even if it's on a concrete block foundation and it's well attached, if the person that owns that modular home does not own that piece of land, they never got any kind of a notice, we can't sell that because we don't own it. We have this happen where we will sell a piece of property that's got a mobile, modular, manufactured home on it, and after the sale, somebody comes and takes it, including modulars on block foundations. Here's an example of that kind of situation that could happen. Dad owns a 40-acre piece of property. His son gets married. He says, well, why don't you and your new bride go get yourself a brand new modular home and put it down on that corner of the property? And then maybe when I die, I'll leave you the whole thing. Well, son and daughter-in-law, they get married and they put their modular there and they get along for a few years. And then she runs off to California. And he runs off somewhere else, not modular, it's just sitting there. And then dad dies and the son inherits it, but he doesn't want it. And they just let the whole thing go. Well, Green Tree Finance might have had a lien on that modular home. They had never had anything to do with the real estate. They never got a notice. We foreclose on the piece of real estate. We sell it. You buy it. And you move into that modular home, and one Monday morning you wake up and it's attached to a truck and it's going down the road. We didn't have a right to sell that modular because we didn't have the title to it. We don't always have a way to know if something on a piece of property, even if it seems to be attached, if it's got title that we have a good title to. So the rule is this: we don't warrant the title. It's probably going to stay, but we can't guarantee it. If somebody shows up and is trying to take away a mobile, modular, or manufactured housing unit on a piece of property that you buy from us, A, we didn't warrant that title. B, before you just let them take it, make them prove to you that they have that right. Make them go see a judge and bring an order from the court that says that they have the right to. Sometimes people think that this means that they can come and get their mobile home off a piece of property they lost. That doesn't necessarily mean that they can. There has to be a notice issue involved here that make them prove with a court order that they do have the right to take it. You don't just have to let them do it. We're almost ready to get selling today. When we sell property, it's just like riding a teeter-totter. We're going to open up with either the minimum bid that's in that book. If I've got a higher bid already online, we're going to start there. If I've already got a bid that's way above that minimum bid, we're not going to start at $400 and go all the way to $2 million. We're just going to go right to $2 million. So we're going to start with the higher of those two numbers. We're going to go up those bid increments that I told you about a while ago. We're going to start with either the minimum bid or a higher bid if I've got one online. Barry over here is bidding for the people online. I'm going to come into this room and I'm going to find two people that want to bid back and forth, just like riding that teeter-totter right there. When one of them slows down or says they're all done, I'll look for somebody else. We're going to ride the teeter-totter right here in the room. It's a little faster. Once I'm down to one person in the room, then we're going to go back and see if we have people online that want to keep on bidding. So that part of it's pretty self-explanatory. Couple of tips if you're brand new at this. Most of you are. We don't want to see you make a boo-boo. When you're done today, that bidder card that you've got in your hand, that yellow card, treat it like you would a brand new American Express Platinum card. Don't leave it laying on your chair when you leave today. You might be buying a whole bunch of property you don't know nothing about. Because the only thing that's more fun than bidding is bidding with somebody else's cards. If you've got a cell phone, and I don't know any normal person that does it anymore, please, right about now, put it on silent or vibrate. If you have somebody with you that doesn't hear well and you have to shout at them, or a more likely situation, if you're a husband and wife and you're here today and the husband has the bid card and you have just disregarded your wife's instruction about discontinuing your bidding processes, and your arm gets about halfway up and it comes popping out of the socket, I don't want to hear that noise. If you have to have a disagreement of any kind, please take it out of the room. If you need to have a discussion of some kind, take it outside. We're trying to conduct business. It's a whole lot easier if we can hear what's going on here today. If you make a mistake, and people do this too, they'll get all excited about bidding on something. They'll bid about 15 times on a piece of property and then discover that it's the wrong piece of property. It's the next one in the book where the last one's already gone by. Make sure you know what you're bidding on when you're bidding on it. If you make a mistake, stop me right then. Say, hey, I goofed up. I bid on the wrong piece. I bid the wrong amount. I didn't know what we were doing here. Stop me while the other bidder's still in the room. I'll let you out. If you wait till the sale's over to fess up to a boo-boo, we're going to expect you to pay for it. Please be considerate of everybody else here, and we will be considerate of you. And finally, when we say it's sold, it is. Use your card. Get it up in the air. If I'm not pointing to you and I say going once, going twice, sold, and I'm not pointing to you, you didn't win it. We get people that come to the sale that think they're going to save some money if they wait until the absolute last second to bid for the first time. And I got news for you. It works because you won't be buying anything today. When I say it's sold, it's going to be sold to the person I'm pointing at. It's your job to make sure that you are being heard. If you're worried about bidding on something, your piece is coming up, you're nervous you're going to get missed on it, come right down front and find a chair. When that piece is going to get sold, that way I'll see you. Don't be in the back winking or nodding or tugging on your ear or whatever you want to do. This isn't Sotheby's. I need to see that card in the air. Please use it. Any questions before we get going? Yes.
Yeah, one property we came here to bid on, property 4008.
Yep.
I guess, I thought that the property belonged to the state of Michigan or the assessor, the tax people. How can they go to a judge and?
Are you talking about in Livingston County, the parcel on Eager Road?
Yes.
This property has been foreclosed since April. They waited till yesterday to show up in court and make an argument that the notice was defective, and the judge said, for now, don't sell it. called temporary restraining order. I'm fairly confident that we are gonna sell it. We can't sell it today.
I mean, how can they do that? It's already been.
It's called a judge.
I understand that
A
part.
judge can and will do anything that they want to.
Yeah, I understand.
They went and made an argument. They said the notice was defective. We disagree, but we didn't even get time to make the argument. They waited till basically the day before the sale, went and saw the judge. The judge said, we have to have a hearing. Everybody needs to get their evidence together, bring it and lay it out in front of me. And we can't do that in 15 minutes notice. So take it off the
So
sale.
what happens now?
It will be, assuming that the judge agrees with us and we believe the notice was all done properly, it will be offered again, probably at the second round sale, which is in October. It's only online, that sale is. There's not gonna be a room like this, because there's quite literally gonna be nothing left, except for a few pieces like that fall through the cracks. Watch the website.
Do you have a date on the?
It's gonna be late October.
Late October?
Yep. It's gonna be a while down the road, and it's gonna all be bid online. So if you're here today for the piece in Howell on Eager Road, watch the website. If it doesn't appear there by probably the end of September, then for some reason the judge let him have it back. But basically what happened is they showed up at the absolute last second, and the judge said, well, we don't have time to sort it out, so don't sell it. So that's what happened with that. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Let me give you a heads up here on the ones that we're going to be selling first. We've got several properties that have a lot of interest in them, and we're going to move them to the front of the sale so you don't have to wait and wait and wait. I do want to let you know that there is one in the book. It's parcel number 4022. 4022 says that it has a house on it. There is no house. It's been removed. So, I've got, it looks like 7, 8, 9, I've got 9 pieces of property out of everything in this book that have a lot of interest. We're going to sell those 9 first so that most of you can move on out of here. Then it'll cool down because I'll have fewer breathers. If everybody quit breathing, it would cool right down in here quick. Those numbers are 6,400. 60, I'll go through this list twice. 6411 and 6431 in Shiawassee County. Actually, there's another one in there too, 6420. I'll go through this list a second time. In Clinton County, moved up to the beginning of the sale, are going to be 1904, 1905, 1908, I got 25 bids just online in 1908, and 1909. In Livingston County, number 4002 and 4009 have a lot of interest, and we're going to move those right up to the beginning of the sale. So if you're interested in one of those pieces right there, 10 of them, we're going to sell those first. I'll give you the numbers again. It's going to be 6,400, 6,411, 6,420, 6,431, 1904, 1905, 1908, 1909, and in Livingston, 4002 and 4009. Those will be the ones that we'll sell first. Then we'll go back to the beginning of the book, sell them in order. We're going to skip the pieces that nobody has indicated any interest in, and there will be a few of those. Any other questions before we get going? This will make a whole lot more sense after we've sold 1 or 2. It'll be very obvious how easy it is to get rid of your money. Let us start out in Shiawassee County with number 6,400. Number 6,400, I've got 6 bidders online for this piece already. For some reason, things didn't get moved back into that book. My minimum bid in your sale book says $4,700. My online bidders, 6 of them have already been at work. They've got that price already at $13,250, and it's gonna go higher than that. I already know how high they'll go. I'll bet there are people in this room that'll give me $13,500 for that piece of property, aren't there? If you'll give me $13,500 for that piece of property, put your card in the air right now and just keep it there till I say a number that you don't like. When you're uncomfortable, you just put your card down. It'll save us a whole lot of time instead of going 50 bucks at a crack. 14,000, 15,000, 16,000, 17, 18, 19, $20,000, 21. I'm going to start with you at 21,000. Yep, you right there. Who wants to give me 21 and a quarter? Anybody in the room? I got the cards back up. I guess that little project didn't work too well. Who wants to give me 22? I've got 21 and a quarter, now 22. How about 22 and a half? 23 and a half. 24 and a half. 25. You're going to give me 25 and a half? 26 and a half. I've got 26,000 with you. Who wants 26 and a half? How about 27 and a half? 28 and a half. 29 and a half. 29 and a quarter is as low as I can go. That's our next bid increment. I've got 29,000 with you right there. Anybody in the room at 29,250? Going once. 29,250. 29 and a half. You want to give me 30? How about 30 and a half? 31 and a half. 32 and a half. 33. 33. 32,750. Now 33 and a quarter. I've got 33,000 right there. Anybody in the room want to give me 33,250? Anybody anywhere? 33,000. Going once.
Yep.
Ooh, they snuck in the back door online. Now I need 33,500, 33,750. The internet online is slow today. This is a live bidder.
Yep.
33,750, now 34,000, 34 and a quarter. I've got 34,000. You got a quarter?
Yep.
34 and a quarter, 34,500, now 34,750. 34,500.
Yep.
34,750, now 35,000, 35 and a quarter. 35,000 in the room.
Yep.
35 and a quarter online, 35,500, now 35,750. If anybody else in the room wants back in, you just shout out and let me know. It'll move a little quicker. 35,750, 35,500 in the room. Going once.
Yep.
35,750, and now 36,000. 36 and a quarter. Is your arm tired yet? Mine is. 36,000 in the room. 36 and a quarter online. 36 in the room.
Yep.
Ooh, and a quarter now. 36,500. 36,750. 36,500 in the room. Going once. Going twice. That time you bought it. 36,500, number 352. $36,500, bidder 352. My backup bidder is online. What's the backup bidder stuff all about? Here's the deal. She just won that piece of property for $36,500. She goes out to her car after the sale to get her checkbook, and she gets run over by a beer truck. Broke both arms, can't write that check. We're going to call the backup bidder and offer them that property for one bid increment below the final sale price. Her final bid was $36,500. We're going to offer it to the backup bidder for $36,250. It's yes or no. It's not negotiable. We're not going to discuss it. It's yes or no. Watch out for beer trucks. Okay, 6411 is what we're going to jump down to. We had a couple people online send us bids on this one. I have a bunch of people here in the room that are interested in it as well. 6411, my minimum bid in that book says $6,600. I've got 6,700 online. They're willing to go higher. 6411. Who wants to give me 7,000 for that? I've got 7 right there. Gonna give me 7,500. How about 8? 85, 9, 95, 10 and a half. I've got 10 there, 10 and a half. Now 11 and a half. I think I've got 2 separate bidders right there. 10 and a half. You want to give me 11? 11 and a half. Now 12. 12 and a half. I've got the gentleman in the brown shirt at 12. 12 and a half. Now 13 and a quarter. 13 and 5. 13,750. Now 14,000. 14 and a quarter. 14 and a half. 14,750. And now 15,000. 15 and a quarter. 15 and a half. You want to give me 16? How about 16, 5? 17, 5, 18, 5, 19, 5, $20,000. 20 and a half, 21. Don't quit on me now. We've come all this way together. 20 and a half, now 20,750. 21. 21 and a quarter, 21.5. 21.5. 21,750, and now 22,000. 22. He's shaking his head no. He'll change his mind. I've got you on at 21. They always do. 21,750. 22. See, I told you so. Now 22 and a quarter. Just give me the card. I'll bid for you. 22.5. 22.5. 22,750, and now 23. New bidder, 23. He just took that right off your plate. 23 and a quarter. 23 and a half. How about 24 and a half? 25 and a half. 26 and a half. 27 and a half. 28. 27,750. I've got 27.5 with you. Anybody in the room at 27,750? I've got 27.5 going once. Twice. 27.5, 284. My backup bidder in the back of the room, what's your number? For when his wife. Now we're going to go down to 6420 is where we're going next. Bancroft Road. I think we're going to sell 6420 and then 6421. 6420 is your access to 6421. 2 pieces of parcel that are adjacent. How do I want to do this? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to sell 6420. Then we're going to sell 6421. If somebody buys 6421 that is not the person that bought 6420, we're going to give them an easement. Okay? Understood? Copies? 6420. So if you buy the piece that does not have road access, we're going to provide it over the one in front. Keep that in mind. 6420 is what we're going to sell first. This is the piece on the road. This is a little bit over 3 acres in size. Subject to a right of easement if the one behind it is sold to somebody else. There may already be an easement in place. If there isn't, there is, we don't know if there even is one, but we will provide one. Through the front piece to the rear piece. Couldn't tell you. I'm not familiar with this property. I have not seen it in person. You know? We don't know. So we're selling a piece, 6420, has road frontage. Then we're going to sell 6421, which does not and sits to the rear of it. If they're separate owners, we're going to provide access to the rear piece. 6420. My minimum bid for it on that sale book says $1,200. I'm at $4,600 with an online bidder already. Who wants to give me $5,000 for that piece? I've got 5,000 there. You want to give me 55? Now 6. You want to give me 7,000? How about 8? You want to give me 8,000? 8,000 there. How about 9, 10, 11, 12,000, 12 and a quarter. I've got 12,000 right there with you. Anybody in this room want to give me 12 and a quarter? $12,000 back there going once. 12,000 going twice. 12 and a quarter online. Now 12.5 and 12,750. Got it? 12,750. Now 13,000. 13 and a quarter. 13,000 in the room. Going once, 13.25 online, 13.5, now 13,750. Now 14,000, 14.25. 14,000 in the room. Going once, twice, 14,122. My backup bidder is online. Number 6421, being sold with a right of easement over 6420 if they sell separately. If they don't, the status quo is going to remain. You can make your own easement. 6421 is 22.3 acres. Does not have road frontage. My minimum bid in that book is $1,400. It's already at $1,500 online. We know that's way too cheap, don't we? 6421. Who wants to give me 10,000 bucks for that? Get it started. I've got 10,000 right there. Gonna give me 15?
Yeah.
How about 20? 25?
Yep.
30,000. 31. I've got 30,000 there. Who wants to give me 31,000? Anybody in the room? Who wants to give me 30,250? That's as low as I can go on that. I've got 30,000 right there from the same guy that bought the other one. He's gonna solve my problem for me. I got $30,000 right there going once. Yep. 30.25 online. 30.5. Now 30,750. 30.5 in the room. Going once. Twice. You bought that one too. 30.5, number 122. My backup bidder is online. If you're trying to bid online live, our internet connection here is slow today. You're going to have to be aggressive on that button. We can't wait. Now we're going to go down to 6431. This one's going to blow a few people's hair back. I guarantee. 6431. I don't know if this is still occupied or not. It was. 2-story with an attached garage, outbuildings, 74 acres. With crops? There are crops. Remember what we said about the crops. It ain't your corn. You find pot out there, you can argue with them about it. My minimum bid is $20,250. My online bidders have already got me at $70,250, and we're going to go for a ride. We're going to go a whole lot higher than that. Who wants to give me $80,000 for that? 80. Going to give me 90? How about 100,000? 110. 110. 120. 130. 140. 150. 160. 170. 180. 190. 200,000. 210. 220, 230, 240, 250. Oh, don't stop now. It's only money. And it doesn't cost anything to bid unless you win. I've got 240 right here. Who wants to give me 240 and a quarter? What about you? Not today, maybe tomorrow. I've got 240, 240 and a quarter, 240 and a half, 241, 242, 241 and a quarter. You're gonna have a hard time buying lunch later, aren't you? 241 and a half, 241, 750, 242 and a quarter, 242 and a half, 242, 750, 243, $500,000. I was trying. 243 and a quarter, 243, 5, 243, 750, 244, 244 and a half, 245 and a half, 246 and a half, 247 and a half, 248 and a half, 249 and a half. 250,000. 250 and a half. 250 and a half. Now 251. At 251, I'll throw in the house. Can't sell you the pickup truck. I've got 250 and a half. 250, 750. I've got 250 and a half. Going once.
Yep.
Oh. Oh, that hurt. 250, 750. Now 251. 251 and a quarter. 251 in the room. Going once. Twice. Oh, now you're back. We might have to call for pizza. 251 and a quarter. 251 and a half. 251, 750. Now 252. 252 and a quarter. 252 and a half. 252 and a quarter right here. Are you sweating yet? I am. It's also very warm in here. 252 and a quarter going once. Going twice. You bought it. 252 and a quarter. What's the bidder number? 154. My backup bidder over here, what's your number? Number 333. Okie dokie. Let's go down to Clinton County. We've got a couple of them there. 3, 4 of them that are popular. Let's start out at 1904. Usually one like that clears out a lot of seats. Everybody came to the sale with 10,000 bucks in their pocket thinking they were going to walk away with it. Nope. Number 1904. I've already got a $13,000 bid online for that one right there. It's on Harmon Road. Needs a little work. 7.5 acres with this one right here. I've got 13,000 online. Who in this room? How much? 20. Is that what you're gonna give me, Billy? Who else in this room? And who'd get me 21? Put your card in the air and just keep it there till I say a number you don't like. 25,000. 30,000. 32,500. 35. 37,500. 40,000. 42,500. 45,000. 47,500. $50,000. 51. 52. 53. 54. 55. 56. 57. 58. 59. $60,000. 61. 62. 63. 64. 65. 66. 67. Almost put that card down, didn't you? 67, the wife said, you keep on going. You're going to be living in the 68, 69, 70,000, 71, 72. I've got you in the back at 71,000 to start us out. Isn't that better than going $250 at a time? 71. Who wants to give me 71, 250? Anybody else in the room? Now look at all these cards in the air. Where were you people 5 minutes ago? I'm going to be collecting Social Security by the time this one's done. Going to give me 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77. You going to give me 78? There was somebody over here a minute ago. 78? I've got 77,000 right there. 80,000 from the cheap seats down front. You're not spending it on haircuts, you got it. It's okay, I know. I can pick on it. 80,000. You want to give me 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90,000. You need to have a family conference or anything? 89 and a half. 89 and a half, 89,750. 90,000. 92 and a quarter. All done? You gonna let this guy beat you? That's kind of sad. I got 92 right down front. Who wants to give me 92 and a quarter? 92.5. 92.5. Gonna give me 93. How about 93.5? 93 and a quarter. 93 and a quarter. 93 and a half. 93,750. $93,750?
Yeah.
$93,750, 94,000, 94 and a quarter. Now he says he's done. He'll change his mind, watch it. I got you at 94,000. Anybody in the room want to give me 94 and a quarter? 94,000. Now I got you at 94 and a quarter. 94 and a half? 95 and a half. 96. 96. You didn't spend much money with me yesterday in Bay City, did you? I know you got money in your pocket, because I know how high you bid yesterday and you didn't spend it. I know you got it. I got you on at 95.5, 95,750. 95.5 in the back of the room. What about 95,750? Good, because I was going to have to come down there and shake it out of you. 96, 96, 96, 96 and a quarter. You've run the bid all the way up this far. I told you I'd give you $50. Wasn't that the agreement? I got 96,000 in the back of the room. And a beer truck. 96,000 right there going once. 96 and a quarter, he's back in. 96.5. 97. 5. 98. 97,750. That's as low as I could go. 98 to you. 98 and a quarter. 98 and a quarter. I've got 98,000 right back there against the wall. Anybody at 98,250? Anybody anywhere? 98,000 going once. Twice. 98,000, number 1024. You'll notice he's got a blue bid card. That does not make him special. He doesn't get any frequent flyer miles or anything. What that means is that he got to the sale late and did not hear what the county treasurers called my opening spiel. I do need to verify with you that you do not have any delinquent taxes in these 3 counties, correct? You all heard him. You can all testify in court. My backup bidder, what's that number? We just need to verify with anybody that missed the instruction that they do not have delinquent taxes. 98,000, number 1024. My backup bidder is 108. Now let's go down to 1905, next one on the page. Lots of interest in this one as well. This is on Hollister Road. It's a 4-unit property. It's had some updating. Separately metered income property. Some of these are occupied as last we knew. My opening bid on, in the book says 18,750. My online bidders have me at 23,250 online. They're going to go higher. Let's play that card game again. If you're here to buy this one today, if you'll give me $25,000 for that 4-plex, put your card in the air and keep it there. Just 1, 2. There they are. If you'll give me $25,000, put your card up and just keep it there. 25,000, 30,000, 35,000, 40,000, 45,000, $50,000, 55, $60,000, 65,000, 65. I'll start with you. You want to give me 66, 67, 68, 68 and a quarter. That's as low as I can go. I've got 68,000 with you back there in the corner. Who wants to give me 68 and a quarter? Anybody, anywhere? Now I got more bidders. You want to give me 69? 70, 71, 72. I've got 71 right in the middle of the room. Who wants to give me 72,000? Anybody, anywhere? 72, 75, 76, 77,
Yes.
78, 79,
Yes.
$80,000, now 81. 81, I've got 80,000 right there. Who wants to give me 80 and a quarter? 80 and a quarter, 80 and a half, how about 81? 81 and a half, now 82. 82 and a half, now 83. 83 and a half, now 84. I've got 83 and a half. Who wants to give me 83,750? Anybody? 83 and a half going once, twice.
Yep.
Ooh, online they snuck in. Is it Sam again? Nope, it's a different one. How about 84? 84. 84 and a quarter.
85.
85 and a half. 86 and a half. 87 and a half. 88 and a half. 89 and a quarter. 89.5. 89,750. $90,000. 90 and a quarter. 90 and a half. I've got 90 and a quarter with you. Anybody here at 90,500? What about the online people? He's right there. Now 90,750. 91. 90,750. 91 online. 91 and a quarter. 91 and a half.
Yep.
91,750. 92,000.
Yep.
92 and a quarter. 92 and a half.
Yep.
92,750. 93.
Yep.
93 and a quarter. 93 and a half.
Yep.
93,750. 94,000.
Yep.
94 and a quarter. 94 and a half.
Yep.
94,750. 95,000.
Yep.
95 and a quarter. 95 and a half.
Yep.
95,750. Checking with the boss. All done? Oh, she said yes. When she says yes, you go. 94,750, 95,000. Or excuse me, where am I at? 95,750, 96.
Yep.
96 and a quarter. 96 and a half.
Yep.
96,750. 98,000. 98? Oh, 97. Too warm. 97 and a quarter. 97.5.
Yep.
97,750. Now 98.
Yep.
You want to go to 100? 98 and a quarter. We'll do it the slow, painful way. 98.5.
Yep.
98,750. 98,750, now 99.
Yep.
He's on his own now. She's become awful silent. 99 and a quarter. 99.5.
Yep.
99,750. He said he's done. I'm at 99.5 with a bidder online. His name is Dan. Your name isn't Dan, is it? Because we've had people come to this sale before that had bid online and sat in the room and bid against themselves. All the way to $60,000 he did. Two bidders, guy in line, guy in the room, same guy. That was a mess. 99.5 online. 99,750. 99.5 online, going once. He's back in. 99, 100,000 to Dan. 100,000, 100 and a quarter, 100 and a half. 100,000, 750. Now she's shaking her head like that. She's gone from this to that. That's the line you dare not cross. I'm at 100 and a half with Dan the Man online. 100 and a half. Anybody at 100,000, 750. Anybody anywhere. Going once, twice. Sold it to Dan the Man at 100 and a half. What's the backup bidder number? Backup bidder? Number 270. Now we're going to go down to number 1908. 1908. This is 40 acres. Has not been farmed in a long time, so there's no crops here to argue over. 40 acres. No buildings. Land. My minimum bid in that book is $2,700. We know it's not going to sell for $2,700, so we're going to start at my highest online bid so far, which is $41,500. 40 acres of farmland, I suspect, is going to go higher than $1,000 an acre. So let's get started with that. I bet, by the way, it got to 41.5 because I have 25 online bidders on this one. How many people in the room would give me 42 for this? If you'll give me 42, put your card in the air and keep it there. Just one? Okay, two. I guess we'll do it the old-fashioned. Three. They're coming up slowly. 4. Who wants to give me 50,000 for this? Put your card up in the air. 55. 60,000. 65. I'm going to start with you at 65,000. Who wants to give me 66? Anybody? 66. 67. 68. 69. 70. 69 and a half. I've got you on at $69,000. Anybody in the room want to give me 70? Anybody else here playing on this one today? I've got 69,000. What about 69.5? Anybody? Anybody at 69.5? 69,000. Anybody at 69 and a quarter? 69,000 going once. 69 and a quarter. 69 and a half. 70. 70 and a half. 71. I've got 70 and a half with you. Anybody in the room at 70,750? What about online? 70,750. Now 71 and a quarter. You want to give me 72? Jump it up. 72 and a quarter. They can only go up 250 at a time online. 72 and a quarter. How about 73 and a quarter? 74 and a quarter. 75,000. 75 and a quarter. You're gonna give me 80,000 for that? 80,000. He's serious about it. 80 and a quarter. I've got 80,000 in the room. 80 and a quarter. 81. 81 and a quarter. 81,000 in the room. Going once. 81 and a quarter. How about 82? 82 and a quarter online. 83 and a quarter. 83 going once. Got the quarter. 83 and a quarter. How about 84? 84 and a quarter. 85 and a quarter. 86 and a quarter. 87 and a quarter. Internet's a little slow, or maybe he's married. 88 and a quarter. What about 90? 90,000, 90 and a quarter. Then I'll give you 92.5. 91, 91 and a quarter. 92 and a quarter. 93 and a quarter. 94 and a quarter. 95 and a quarter. 96 and a quarter. How about 100,000? 100 and a quarter. 101 and a quarter. 102 and a quarter. Not a regular bidder, I can tell you that. I've got 102. Going once. Going twice. Ooh. So close you could smell the ether. How about 103? 103 and a quarter. 103. Going once. Going twice. You bought it. 103. What's the bidder number? 103, number 268. Backup bidder is online. That emptied out some chairs. On the next page, at the top of the next page, number 1909. We're in Ovid now, on Pearl Street. Nice little bungalow right in town. $2,900 is my online minimum bid, but I'm already at $10,500 with an online bidder. How many people in this room would give me $11,000 for that one? I've got 10 bidders online. I assume I got some people here in the room. Do I have one or do I have more than one? I've got 10,000. I've got 11,000 right there. Anybody in the room want to give me 12? Anybody in the room at 12, 13, 14, 15,000, 16, 17, 18, 19, $20,000, 21, 22, 22 and a quarter. I've got 22,000 with you. Anybody in the room want to give me 22,250? I've got 22,000 right there going once. Twice. 22,000, number 190. Backup bidder, what's your number? 318. Now, let's go down to Livingston County. Number 4,002. I've got 10 online bids on this one before we even start. Roan Road, Fenton Way. 10 acres, a little bit over 10 acres in size. I'm at $10,250 online, and they're going to go higher. How many people in the room would give me $11,000 for that piece? Put your card up in the air. Just one, two, 11,000. You want to give me 12? How about 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20,000? 20 and a quarter. Then I give you 20 and a half. 20 and a half, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25,000, 26, 27, 28, don't look at him, look at me, 29, and now 30, 31, 32, 32, I've got 31 here, 31 and a quarter, he's talking to the boss. I've got 31,000 down front, 31 and a quarter, now 31.5, 31,750, and now 32, 32 and a quarter, 32.5, 32,750, and now 33,000, 33 and a quarter, 33 and a half, 33,750. You know you want it. 33,750, now 34 and a quarter, 34 and a half, 34,750, and now 35,000, 35 and a quarter, 35 and a half, 35,750, 36,000, 36 and a quarter, 36 and a half, 36,750, and now 37,000, 37 and a quarter, 37 and a half. You want to go to 38, 38 and a half, 39 and a half, 40,000, 39,750. I've got 39.5 with you. Anybody in the room at 39,750? 39.5 going once. Twice. 39.5, too late. Sold it. 39.5, 247. My backup bidder, 284. You should go sell it to him for $60,000 right now, right in the back of the room. I've seen that happen. Let's go down to number 4009. 4008 has been removed by an order of the court. Won't be selling that one today. 4009. This is a 20-foot wide strip of land between a couple of houses. Somebody wants it. I'm guessing the two neighbors are here. I've seen these happen before and get absolutely stupid. I just wish I sold fence. The electric fence. I need $750 for this one. Where's my neighbors at? It's circled right here in my book. Somebody said they wanted it awful bad. Are they here? Guess not. Why don't you buy it? Tomorrow. That's his answer now. I guess we're not going to sell that one today. Maybe with something else. Let's go down now to number, what else do we got here? I guess that's it. We're going to go back to the beginning of the book now. All the fireworks are over now. Now it's going to get a little slower, a little bit more predictable. No more $10,000 jumping of bids. We've already sold, we're going to go back to the beginning of Shiawassee. We already sold 6,400. Let's sell 6,402 now. Shiawassee, 6,402. Where did I start the first time? Then that's what I'm going to do this time too. It won't take long. Shiawassee, 6,402 is where I'm at. I'm going to give you one piece of advice if you're here to bid on this one. I have not seen this till I see this picture right now. That to me looks like it could have been an old gas station. Could it have been? If corner store, did they ever have gas there? Maybe. You might be inheriting some tanks under that ground. Just please keep that in mind. If you buy anything that's ever had gas tanks there, you're going to want to have something done called a baseline environmental assessment. You have 45 days to do something like that after you buy it. If you buy something and you don't CYA on it and they come around later and discover that it's contaminated or has tanks on it, telling them that it was like that when I bought it does not work. You have to have proof that it was like that when you bought it. You're going to want, and if there are tanks there, regardless, you're going to have to pay to take them out. Please keep that in mind. So, number 6,402. I've got $7,600 already bid online, and they're gonna go higher. Several online bidders on this one. Anybody in the room wanna give me 8,000 for it? I've got 8,000 right there. Anybody in the room wanna give me 85? I've got 81 online. Gonna give me 9,000 for it? 9,000 right there. How about 91? What about 10,000? Now it's a different bid increment, 10 and a quarter. How about 11,000? 11 and a quarter. I've got $11,000 in the room. Anybody want to give me 11,250? 11 going once, twice. You bought it, $11,000, number 206. My backup bidder is online. My book does not have a circle around 6406. We're going to be skipping a few parcels in this book. It'll move right along. Is anybody, yeah, okay, she's interested in it. That's what I was going to say. If somebody wants it, we'll sell it. If not, we're going to go buy. 6406 on Valley Road out Lennon Way. Vacant subdivision lot. There could be association fees. Make sure you've investigated that. $700. Do I have it right there? I've got 700. Anybody? 750. 800. 850. 9. 9.5. Now $1,000 and 1,100. 1,200. Now 13. I've got $1,200 with you. You can raise your own kids, but not your own price. You're at 1,200. I'm not going to let you bid 16. $1,200 going once, twice. $1,200. Number 1112. My backup bidder is number 103. I just have to confirm because you have the blue card. You don't have any delinquent taxes in these counties, correct? Just need to make sure. Don't want to visit you in jail. Number 6407, I've got 2 online bids. Last we knew, this one was occupied. Manufactured home. Remember what we told you about these. We can't guarantee that it's going to stay. They usually do. If somebody shows up and tries to take it away, make them show you an order from the judge. I've got $4,900 already bid online for this one. Anybody want to give me 5,000 for it in the room? Anybody anywhere? I've got 5,000 right back there. I've got 5,100 online. 52, 53, 54, now 5,500, 56, 57. You want to go right to $6,000 on it? 6,000. What about 6,100 online? I've got 6,000 in the back of the room. 61. Now I see cards all over the room. Who wants to give me 7,000? 7. Gonna give you 8,000? How about 9, 10, 11, 12, 11 and a half. I've got 11,000 with you. Anybody in the room at 11,250? 11,250, 11,5, 11,750, and now 12. 12 and a half, 12 and a quarter. I've got 12,000 right there. Anybody in the room? 12 and a quarter. 12 and a half, 12,750, and now 13. 13 and a quarter, 13 and a half, 13,750, and now 14,000. 14 and a quarter, 14 and a half, 14,750. 15,000. 15 and a quarter, 15 and a half, 15,750. 15,750. Now 16. 16 and a quarter, 16 and a half, 16,750. The land, well, and septic will cost you that much. I got 16 and a half right there. 16 and a half going, 16,750, different bidder. 17 and a half. 17 and a half, I've got 17 right here in the middle of the room. Anybody at 17 and a quarter? Now another bidder at 17 and a quarter. You still have money left? No, he doesn't, he says. They just let him out of the sanitarium today. He came down here to have a little recreation this afternoon. I've got you at 17 and a quarter, now 17.5. 17,750, and now 18. 18 and a half, what about 19? 19 and a half, now $20,000. 20 and a half, now 21. 21 and a quarter, 21 and a half. 21,750. He said he's done. 21.5 right down front. Anybody in the room at 21,750. 21.5 going once, twice. 21.5. What's the bidder number? 21,554. My backup bidder, 103. I'm gonna get some of your money yet. He keeps bidding. He's not picking them up just yet. He's trying. We do have a rule that you cannot leave until you bought something. I don't know if I explained that at the beginning. Oh yeah, lunch works. Anybody here for 6408? If nobody's here for it, we'll go right on by. His hands in the air. I'm gonna get his money. 6408, we're in Venice Township out in Lennon Green Estates. This one and the one after it are adjacent, or as they say north of the bridge, they are side by each. 6408, I need $600 for it. Right there, I got it. Who wants to give me $650? Anybody, anywhere. You can't bid against yourself. Nice try. $600 going once, twice. Now I got some of his money. 103 at the minimum bid. Number 6409. Do I have a bidder in the room for that one? He wants that one too. Let's open it up. This one's got a house on it. We call these dog houses. Do you know why? Because they're awful rough. Can't you make him stop? Yes, it does. 6409. $1,500. I've got a bid right there. Anybody want to give me 1,600? I've got 15 going once. 15 going twice. It's your problem now. Bidder number 103. Shiawassee County in the state of Michigan, thank you for buying that piece of property. We already sold 6411. Let's go down. Do I have a bidder in the room for 6413? If not, we'll skip it. There are some properties that just nobody wants. Okay, let's go to 6414. I've got a bid online for that one already at the minimum bid of $3,300. It's on Grand River Road, Langsburg Way. We had somebody living in this the last time we were by it. We did not go inside. One thing I do want to mention about these three counties, these are all managed by the state. They do not let us go inside structures. That's why if you have looked at our other listings, you'll see interior pictures, but not on these. It's a rule that we have to abide by. 3,300, it was occupied. We don't know if it is today. It could be on fire right now. We really just don't know. I've got $3,300 bid online. Who wants to give me 34? Anybody in the room? I got it right there. Anybody now at 35? $3,400 in the room. What about online? 35? Now 36. 3,700. 38. Now 3,900. $4,000. Now 41. 42. Now 4,300. 4,400. Now 45. 46. 4,700. 48. Now 49. $5,000. Now 5,100. 5,000 going once. 51 online. Now 52 and 5,300. 5,400. Now 55. 54 in the room. 55 online. Now 5,600 and 57. 56 in the room. Going once. 57 online. 5,800. Now 59. Bid 80,000. You'll win. I guarantee it. 59. 59 online. Now 6,000. $6,100. 6,000. Going once. Going twice. It's yours. 6,000 number 269. My backup bidders online. Winning bidders number 269. Last one on that page, number 6415. 6415, I've got 4 bids online for this one. It's had some upgrades done to it, including a newer well out in the yard, they did notice. That looks like that's a little bit less than an acre in size, probably about maybe 2/3 of an acre. I'm at $5,100 already with an online bidder. Anybody in the room want to give me 52? 52 over there. Anybody in the room want to give me 6,000 for that? 6,000. How about 6,500? Now 7,000. 75, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78,000, he says. How about 8,500? What about 9? 86. I've got 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, now 9,000, 91, 92, 9,100. Going once, 92, 93, 94, 95, 9,600. 9,500 with you. Anybody in the room want to give me 96? 96? 97, 98, 99, 10,000. 10 and a quarter, now 10 and a half. 10,750, and now $11,000. 11 and a quarter. I've got $11,000 with an online bidder. Anybody want to give me 11 and a quarter? 11,000 going once, twice. 11,000 online. My backup bidder right there is number 258. If you're a little warm this afternoon, please remember to use your white sailbook for fanning yourself off. That yellow bidder card is a mighty expensive option. Anybody in the room here today to bid on 6416? It's not circled. She is. We're going to take her money. 6416 is on, it's not on any kind of a road at all. It's probably right behind her house, and she's been mowing it for the last 10 years. And by golly, today she's going to own it. Right?
Yeah.
Do you? I've been doing this a little bit. I can pick these up. $450. I've got the bid right there. Anybody in the room at 500? Why would you want it unless you own a helicopter? I've got $450 going once, twice. Now it's yours. Your kingdom is expanded. Number 339. Mowing it for 30 years, she said. Not an uncommon story at all. Now you can kick people off it. Get off my lawn. We've already sold 6420 and 21. Do I have a bidder in the room for 6423? Is that in anybody here's backyard? Anybody remaining? Anybody in the room for 6423? Let's go by that and go down to 6424. 6424 is on Shiawassee Street in Bancroft. Cape Cod, occupied last time we knew. We don't know about now. They might have moved along. We don't know. I'm at $8,000 already. Anybody want to give me 8,500 for it? 85. You want to give me 9? How about 95 and 10? 10 and a half, 11,000. You want to give me 12, 13, 14, 15, 14 and a quarter. 14.5. How about 15 and a half? 16, 16 and a half. 16,750. I bet you wanted 16,000. Anybody in the room at 16,250? 16,250. She's got money to burn. She don't care. 16,250 now. 16 and a half. 16,750. 17. 17 and a quarter. 17 and a half. You're very agreeable. Must be somebody else's money. 17,750.
All right.
And now 18. 18 and a quarter.
Okay.
18 and a quarter, gosh. 19 and a half. 19,750. She's stopping. 19.5 because she stopped. I've got 19.5. Anybody in the room at 19,750? 19,750. Now 20,000, 20 and a quarter, 20 and a half, 20, 21 and a quarter, 20, 22 and a half. And even more, even less seldom do they agree. 22 and a half, 22,750. 23, 23 and a quarter, 23 and a half, 23,750. 24, 24 and a quarter, 24 and a half, 24,750. 25,000, 25 and a quarter, 25 and a half, 25,750. 26 and a quarter. You could bid like 80,000, just get it done with. Oh, well, you could. 26 and a quarter, 26 and a half. 26, don't look at him, look at me. I feel left out. 26,750. 27,000. 27 and a quarter. You could go beat him up. That would stop it right now. No, I'm just kidding. Do that in the parking lot where I can't see. 27 and a quarter. Are you really done? 27,000 in the back of the room. Anybody at 27,250? What about you? You haven't bought anything from me yet. Oh, he's waiting till tomorrow. 27,000. Anybody at 27 and a quarter? What about those people online? 27,000 going once. Twice. Ooh. You're killing me. That was a great noise, though. I need to get that recorded so I have a button that can push it. Goes, ah! 27 and a quarter. 27 and a half. You make noise too? 27 and a quarter. 27, 27,750. 28,000. 28,500. He's good. Now we got a grudge match going on. How about 29? 29 and a half. 29 and a half. 29 and a quarter. 29 and a quarter. Now you're getting beat by a girl. 29 and a half. 29,750. She's so easy. About bidding. 30,000. You might have beat him. Yeah. 29,750. Anybody in it must be the heat. Anybody in the room at 30,000. 29,750. Going once. Twice. You bought it. 29,750. What's the bidder number? You do have a bidder number, I hope. Number 269. In the back of the room, number 295. I was waiting to get down to the last grunt and have him go, yeah. Like, oh. That would have been terrible. But not unexpected. The next four in my book are not circled. I'm going to read the numbers off. If you want one of them, get your card up in the air, or we're just going to go right on by them. Is anybody here for 6425 in Bancroft? Right there. She's after that one too. He's leaving, so you can get this done a lot quicker. 6425 North Shiawassee Street. Trying to deduce how large that is, but I guess I can't real quickly. $600. You're in on that one? Yep. $600. Anybody in the room at 6.5? $600 going once. Twice. You bought that one too. $600, number 269. Anybody here for 6426? 6426 on Bennington Road. It's unbuildable. It is 6 feet wide.
Oh my goodness.
Outdoor bowling. 6428. Anybody here for that one? That's why some of these are here. That's why we say know what you're bidding on. Anybody here for number 6430? It has no road access. We get all the good stuff. On the next page, we already sold the first one. And he's still mulling that over. 6434. Anybody here for 6434? It's not circled in my book. We'll skip it if nobody wants it. 6434. What about 6435? Anybody here for that? It is not circled in my book. Let's go to 6440. 6440 is on Kermode in Owasso, not far from here. Needs a little bit of work. Maybe with a bulldozer. Nah, we're not going to trash talk it. $2,700 I've already got bid online.
For the windows?
Yeah. Who wants to give me $3,000 for that one? Anybody in the room want to give me $3,000? Who wants to give me $2,800? I've got somebody online at $2,700, and I'm getting the idea that the rest of you think I should just take his money and run. Oh, I got 28 in the back of the room, now 29. $3,000. He's shaking his head no. It must be a quality property. I got $2,900 with an online bidder. Anybody in the room at 3,000? 3,000 there. Are you sure? Okay. 31. 32. 31 with an online bidder. And everybody bids, and then they go, what did I just do? Now 32, 33, 34, $3,300 online. Going once, twice. Got another bidder online. One of these is an advanced bid. The other one is a live bidder watching us on that camera right there right now. I have no idea how high they'll go. I know how high it might go. It is at $4,000, and they seem to be battling it out. Mr. White and Mr. J. Lee. We'll let you know where they end up. We'll let you back in if you want back in. Nobody here want to give me any more than about $3,200 for it, and I think it's going to sell for about $6,100. That's my guess. Maybe higher, maybe lower. It's at $6,000 right now. Anybody in the room want to give me $6,100 for it? I've got $6,000 with an online bidder. Going once, going twice. Sold it online at $6,000. My backup bidder is also online. Do I have a bidder in the room for 6442? Anybody? It says the property is 19 inches tall. How do you do that? I think they meant wide, maybe 19 feet. Number 6443 is what we're going to sell next. I've got online bids for this one. It's on Broadway in Owasso. I don't know if this one was occupied at the time or whether it is now or not. It appears to be generally well taken care of. Like we said, we can't go inside of them here. 6443, I'm already at $10,750 with an online bidder. They're willing to go a little higher. Who in the room wants to give me, if you'll give me 11,000, put your card up in the air and just keep it right there. Now 12,000, 13, 14, 15,000, 16, 17. I'm going to start with you at 17,000. Who wants to give me 17,250? Anybody in the room? What about online? 17 and a quarter, 17 and a half, 17,750. 17 and a half. Going once. 17,750 and now 18,000. 18 and a quarter. 18 and a half, 18,750. 19,000, 19 and a quarter. 19 and a half, 19,750. $20,000, now 20 and a quarter. 20 and a half, now 20,750. 21 and a quarter. You want to give me 22, 22 and a quarter. This is a live bidder online. How about 23 and a quarter? 24 and a quarter. Ooh, it got quiet. 24,000 in the back row. Now 24 and a quarter, 25,000. 25 and a quarter. 25,000 in the room. Going once.
Yep.
25 and a quarter, 25 and a half. I've got 25,250 online. Anybody in the room want to give me 25.5? 25 and a quarter online going once. Twice. 25 and a quarter online. My backup bidder, what's your number back there? 341. Number 6444, Michigan Avenue, Owasso, older two-story home. My online bidding has already gotten me to $10,250. Next one, 6444. There it is. Who wants to give me 11,000 for that? 11,000 right here. Anybody in the room want to give me 12? 12. How about 13? 14. 13 and a half. 13 and a half. 14. How about 14 and a half? 15 and a half. 16 and a half. 17. 16, 750. 16, 750. 20. 21. 21. 21. 22. 21 and a half. 21 and a quarter. Don't get cheap on me now. I got 21 right here. Are you? You're not as cute as she is. I'm sorry, that's not going to work.
It sounds better.
I got 21 here. Who wants to give me 21 and a quarter? 21 and a quarter, 21 and a half. I got 21 and a quarter with you. Anybody in the room at 21.5? 21.5, 21,750, now 22 and a quarter, 22 and a half, 22 and a half, 22,750, and now 23, 23 and a quarter, 23 and a half. I've got 23 and a quarter with you. Anybody in the room at 23.5, 23,250 going once, 23.5 online, 23,750. Now 24. 24 and a quarter. I've got 24,000 online. Anybody in the room at 24,250? 24 and a quarter going once. 24 and a quarter with another online bidder. These are both live bidders. Watching on the camera, clicking on the little button on their screen and spending their money online. We will let them dog it out. We'll let you back in when they're done. If you want back in, it's at 25,000 and they're still clicking their little button. We will be in Monroe tomorrow, Port Huron on Saturday, Gaylord on Monday, Alpena on Tuesday, getting our teeth pulled out on Wednesday. No lie there. Thursday we'll be in Boyne Falls. Friday will be, I think, in Cadillac, something like that. Busy, busy time of the year. It's at 27,000, and they're still going. Two online bidders. I don't recognize the screen names. Yeah? You know who it is? Don't tell me. Good. Be that way. I've got 28,250 with an online bidder. It's slowing down. Anybody in the room want to give me 28.5? 28,250 online going once. Twice. Sold it the electronic way at 28,250. The backup bidder is also an online bidder. Anybody in the room here today wants to bid on 6448? No road access, teeny tiny little piece of land, can't build on it, can't do much anything with it. All right. Clinton County. We switch them around every year so somebody's last all the time. Somebody's got to be last. We don't want it to be the same county every year. 1900 is where we're gonna start. It's on High Street in Bath. Needs some roof repair. I've got $2,000 already on that beauty right there. Isn't that a sharp looking place? You could move your mother-in-law right on in. 2,000 is what I've got. Who wants to give me 2,100? 21 back there. Anybody in the 22, 23, 24, 25? Gonna give me 3,000 for it? 3,000. How about 3,500? What about 4,000? 45, 41, 41. I've got you hunted. $4,000. Anybody in the room at 4,100? 4,000 going once, twice. $4,000, number 1110. My backup bidder, what was her number? Number 239. I gotta ask 1110, you don't have any delinquent property taxes on anything in these counties, correct?
No, sorry.
All right, gotta make sure he's got one of those fancy blue cards. Got here late. Is anybody in the room to bid on 1901? If not, we'll go right on by it. She's after that. Let's open it up. 1901. We have sold this property 3 times, and it's not even in Ontonagon County. $750 is what I need for that right there, and you can mow that this afternoon. I've got $750 bid right there. Anybody at 800? Going once, twice. It belongs to bidder number 239. We don't want to see it again. If it comes back, I'm calling your mom. 1902, Meadow Lawn, Lansing address, Auto Park sub. I need $1,100 for that one right there, and I've already got it. I don't think we're selling the street. I think it's a lot off that street, and I'm just guessing. We do sell streets, though. We sell just about everything. I've got $1,100 online. Yeah, gonna give you 12. I've got 1,200 right there. Anybody in the room want to give me $1,300? $1,200 right there going once, twice. You bought it. $1,200, $286. My backup bidder on that one's online. $1903, Jones Lake Road, paved road, quiet area, grassy lot. I've got $850 bid online. Anybody in the room want to give me 9? Anybody? 900 right there. He lives next door. He's been mowing it. He's been waiting for this sale to come up today. Is that about right? Not even next door. Not even that part. I just made all that up, didn't I? $850 online. 900 in the room. $950 online. $1,000. Now 1,100. 1,200. He said he's all done. It must be the neighbor online. I was right after all. You can't confirm that, so don't question me on it. I've got $1,100 with an online bidder. Anybody want to give me 12? $1,100 going once, twice. $1,100 with an online bidder. My backup bidder. What's your number down here? 258. We already sold the next 2. Let's go down to 1906. 1906 is on Oak Street in Elsie, not far from Ovid. Elsie and Ovid. 2-story home, needs work. I've got $5,100. 4 online bidders I had bidding on this one before the sale. They're willing to go a little higher than that, but I've got 51 right now on the screen. Who wants to give me $5,500? Anybody in the room here for this one at 55? 55 right there. Anybody want to give me 6,000 for it in the room? I've got $5,600 online. 57, 58, 59, 6,000, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 6,600, 67, 68, 69, and now 7,000, 71, 72, 73, 74, $7,300 in the room. You should have 74, 75, 76, $7,700. Now I need 78, Anybody in the room or live bidder online at 78? 78, now 79. $8,000. This is a live bidder online. I've got 79. 8,000, now 8,100 and 82. 81 in the room. 82 online. 8,300, now 84. 8,500, now 86. 87, now 88. 89, $9,000. 91, 92. 93, 94. 9,300, going once. 94 online, 9,500, now 96. You want to round it off to 10 grand? 10, 10 and a quarter. 10 and a half. 10, 750. 10 and a half. 10, 750. Now 11 and a quarter. 11 and a half. 11, 750. 12,000. Now 12 and a quarter. 12 and a half. 12, 750. 13,000. 13 and a quarter. You want to go to 14? 14 and a quarter. 14 in the room. 14 and a quarter. How about 15? 14.5. Are you all done? Pinky promise. I got 14 and a quarter. Anybody want to give me 14.5? 14,250 online. Going once. Ooh, another live bidder. Big mystery. Mary and 15,000 is what I need to keep on going. It's at 14,750. Anybody in the room at 15,000? 14,750 going once. Twice. Sold that one online at 14,750. The backup bidder is also online. I'll take your number as the backup bidder in case both of my online people flake out. Okay, anybody in the room here today for 1907? If not, I see a card. Let's sell that one. Maple Rapids Road out Fowler Way. Some work has been done. It's got extensive debris. No extra charge. We just thought we'd throw that in. $19,250. I've got it bid right there. Anybody in the room want to give me 19.5? Anybody here for this one at 19.5? 19,250 going once. Twice. It's your mess now. What's that bidder number? 342 at the minimum bid. Isn't going to be a whole lot left over for that sale in October. On the next page, we've already sold 1909. I have a circle around the one at the bottom of the page, 1915. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them right in a row there are not circled in my book. We're going to go through the list. If I read a number and you want to buy it, you get your card up in the air and let me know. Otherwise, we're going to skip them. Is anybody here to bid on 1910? What about 1911? 1912? 1913? 1913? Let's sell that one. St. John's is where we're at. Vacant lot. They took the house away. May or may not be buildable. $900. I've got it right there. Anybody want to give me $950? $900 going once. Twice. $258 buys that one at the minimum bid. 1912, by the way, right there is only 1.3 million. Anybody after that one? I should ask. They're gonna ask me if I thought we might have a bidder here for that today. I really did. I was hoping. I could go backward if you want me to. Let me guess, I'd have to hold the check, right?
For many years.
Many years. I know who wants to buy that, they just didn't show up today. Anybody here for 1914 today? 1915 is what we're gonna sell next, and I know we're gonna sell this one because we've already got it bid online. East State Street, St. John's. Multiple units. That almost looks like a railroad depot, but I don't think it is. East State Street. I've already got $12,500 bid online. Anybody in the room want to give me $12,750? I've got it right there. Anybody here for that one at $13,000? $12,750 there. $13,000 online. 13 1/4, 13 1/2, 13,750, and now 14. 14 1/4, 14 1/2, 14,750, and 15,000. 15 1/4, 15 1/2, 15,750, $16,000. What about 16 1/4? Now I need 16 1/2. 16,750, and now 17. Ooh, 17 is a live bidder. 17 1/4, 17 1/2. 17 1/4, going once. 17 1/2, 17,750, 18,000. 17,750, going once, twice. Ooh, 18 1/4, 18,5. 18 1/4, going once, twice. 18,5, 18,750, and now 19,000. 18,750, going once, twice. Sold it, 18,752.57. My backup bidder is online. Livingston. Jennifer says it's about time. 4,001 is where we're going to start out. Foley Road does not have road frontage. I've got $1,900 already bid on this piece. Anybody in the room want to give me 2,000? I've got 2,000 there. Gonna give me 2,500? What about 3,000? 3,500, 4,000, 4,500, 5,000, 5,500, 6,000, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 7,000. Let's try 75. How about 8,000? 8,500, 9,000, 9,500, 10,000, 10 1/2, 11, 10,750, 11 1/4, 11 1/2, 11,750, 12,000, 12 1/4, 12 1/2, 12,750, and now 13,000, 13 1/4, 13 1/2, 13,750, and 14,000, 14 1/4, 14 1/2, 14,750, 15,000, 15 1/4, 15 1/4, you sure? I've got you on at 15,000. Anybody in the room at 15,250? 15,000 going once. 15,000 going twice. 15 1/4, 15 1/2, 15,750. You know you want it awful bad. 15,750 and now 16. You didn't need that vacation. 16 1/4, 16 1/2, 16,750. I've got 16 1/2 with you. Anybody in the room at 16,750? 16,5 going once, twice. 16,5, 260. My backup bidder is number 158. We already sold number 4,002. Number 4006. Is there a bidder in the room for 4006? If no, that's the one you're after.
It's in my bag.
It's in her backyard. 8-unit motel. You just bought yourself a job.
I did buy a few jobs.
Or are you gonna knock it down?
My neighbor's on a bulldozer.
The neighbor's on a bulldozer.
All right?
Yeah, buddy. All right. 4006. It's the no-tell motel.
Crusty.
Krusty's? I wouldn't stay at a place called Krusty's Motel. I don't know about you. $21,500. Cars not included. Is there anybody still living on it?
No.
Oh, good.
Electric's off.
Electric's off. There could be somebody still living there.
That's true.
That almost looks like a mobile home on the top of that thing there, doesn't it? 21.5. I've got it right here. Anybody in the room want to fight her over that one at 21,750? I knew there'd be a couple of them in the room. Who? And either one of you want to give me 25,000 for it? 25. Gonna give me 30?
Yeah.
How about 35? 31. I've got 30,000 right down here in the front row. Who wants to give me 31,000? 31, 32, 35, 36. Either one of you back there. 36? I've got 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40,000, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50,000, now 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, $60,000, now 61. You can tell people Lincoln slept there. You don't have to say which Lincoln. Could be Harry Lincoln for all they know. I've got 60,000 back, 61 with you. Anybody in the room at 61,250? 61,250, 61 and a half. Now he said he's done. Your psychology worked. I've got 61,250 right down front. Anybody in the room at 61.5? 61, he's back. 61.5, 61,750. 61,750, now 62 and a quarter.
Okay.
62 and a quarter, 62 and a half, 62,750. 62 and a half back there. Anybody at 62,750? 62, 62,750? 63. 63 and a quarter. 63 and a half. 63,750. 65. 65 and a quarter. He said he's done. 65 in the front row. Anybody here at 65 and a quarter? 65,000 going once. Twice. You are now the owner of Krusty's Motel. 65,000, what's the bidder number? 1127. My backup bidder on that is 242. Don't forget to change the beds on that when you get back there today. We can't sell 4008. It was removed by an order of the court. We already offered 4009, which is the 20-foot wide piece between people's houses. Nobody wanted it. Is anybody surface that wants 4009? It supposedly had a bunch of people interested. Maybe it was goofed up to something else. On the next page, I have two parcels that are near each other. I don't know necessarily that they're adjacent, but they're very close to each other. Actually, they are adjacent from what my notes say. Neither one of those are circled in my book. They're on old US 23. Is anybody here for 40,010? Is anybody here for 4,011? Either one of those pieces. Anybody here for those? I don't know exactly how large they are. but they're irregular in shape, I can tell you that. On to the next page. Is anybody here today for number 4013? Is anybody here for 4014? Let's open that one up. Garland Avenue, wooded parcel, private road, not county maintained. 4014, $1,100. I've got it in the back of the room. Anybody want to give me 1,200? 1,200? Mike can finally see you bid. Now 13, 1,400, 15, 16, 17, 1,800, 19, now 2,000, 2,100. I've got 2,000 right down front. Anybody at 21? 2,000 going once, twice. You bought it. 2,000, number 312. My backup bidder in the back of the room. What's your number? Number 359. Is anybody in the room to bid on number 4015? Anybody here for number 4015? Number 4016, Edge Lake Drive. This is wooded vacant parcel. It's got a creek going through it, which if you wade in it, you might get to Strawberry Lake, depending on the time of the year, how much it rained lately. I have already got a $17,000 bid on that one online. Anybody in the room want to give me $17,250? I've got it right there. You want to give me 18? How about 19? 20,000, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, $30,000, 31, 31 and a quarter. I've got 31,000 right there. Anybody in the room at 31,250? What about online? 31,000, 31 and a quarter. She's back. 31,500. 31,750. 32. 32 and a quarter. 32,000 over here to my right going once. 32,000 going twice. 32 and a quarter online. 32,500. 32,750. 32,005 going once. Twice. 32,750 now. 33,000. 33 and a quarter. 33,000 going once. 33 and a quarter. 33,500. 33,750. 33,500 going once. Twice. 33,750. 34,000. 34 and a quarter. 34,000 and a quarter. 34,500. 34,750. 34,500 going once. Twice. It's yours. 34,500, 247. My backup bidder is online. Number 4017, Beechwood Drive, vacant parcel. Vacant parcel? It's been a long day. $1,100. I've already got bid online. Who wants to give me 12? I've got 12 with the lady right there. Anybody in the room at 1,300? 1,200 with you. Going once. Twice. 1,200, 298. My backup bid is online. Number 4018, Langley Drive on the Cedar Beach Resort subdivision. I've got a $5,800 bid already. We had several online bidders chasing this one. Anybody want to give me $5,900 for it in the room? I've got $5,800 online. 58 going once, twice.
Yep.
Ooh, 59. We've got an online bid and now a live bidder, and they're going to go back and forth for a little bit. We'll see how high it goes. It may go for a little bit here. We'll see where they end up. It's out in pink name. 60, it's at 7,000. They're not done yet. 7,600 and still ticking along. Looks like some blue plastic barrels on that property. Wonder who, what's in those? $8,200. They're still moving along. Maybe they're done. It's at 8,200. Anybody in the room want to give me 83? $8,200 going once, twice.
Yep.
Now they're not done yet. $8,400 online. Going once, going twice. Sold it online, $8,400. He was willing to go to 20,000. He wanted it awful bad. Backup bidder also online. 4019 on Leech Lane. Wooded parcel. Appears to be waterfront on Base Lake. $2,100. It may not be very large. We can't really tell you exactly what that is all about, but it's kind of teeny tiny. 2,100. Anybody in the room want to give me 22? Look at all those cards. It's going to be a holiday. It's going to be a big payday now, I can tell. Who wants to give me 5,000 for it? I'm back down. Let's go back down to 3,000. If you'll give me 3,000, put your card in the air and just keep it there till I say a number you don't like. 3,500, 4,000, 41, 4,200, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 5,000. Don't look at her, look at me. I've got 51 with the lady back there with the card up. Anybody want to get, now I got another bidder back at 52, 53, 54, 55.
Just a question.
Yes,
I thought people who owe back taxes can't bid on.
that is correct.
We got an issue here. You need to reset it
You have delinquent taxes on other property in the county.
on this property.
They can't owe delinquent taxes on this if they no longer own it. Are they the former owners?
Yeah.
You can buy it back if you have no other property with delinquent taxes. They don't have delinquent taxes if they don't own it, do they? If they're the former owner, the taxes are no longer their obligation. Sayonara, it's already foreclosed. They're here to buy it back. They can do that. 5,100, 52, 53, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, $6,000, 6,100, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, $7,000, 71, 7,200, 73, 74, 75, 76, 76, 77, 78, 79, 8,000, 8,100, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 9,000, 9,100, 92, 93, 94, 95. You want to go to 10? 10 and a half, 10 and a quarter, 10 and a quarter, 10 and a quarter, 10 and a half, 10 750. I've got 10 and a half in the back of the room. Anybody at 10 750? 10 and a half going once.
Yep.
10 750 online now. 11,000. 11 and a quarter.
Yep.
11 and a half. 11 750.
Yep.
12,000. 12 and a quarter.
Yep.
You want to give me 13? 13 and a quarter.
Yep.
What about 14? 13 5. 13 5, 13 750.
Yep.
And now 14. 14 and a quarter.
Yep.
14 and a half. 14 750.
Yep.
And now 15,000. You're in. 15 and a quarter.
Yep.
15 and a half. 15 750.
Yep.
16,000. 16 and a quarter.
Yep.
16 and a half. 16 750.
Yep.
17,000. 17 and a quarter.
Yep.
17 and a half. 17 750.
Yep.
18 and a quarter.
Yep.
18 and a half. 18 750.
Yep.
19,000. 19 and a quarter.
Yep.
19 5. 19 750.
Yep.
20,000. 20 and a quarter.
Yep.
20 and a half. 20,000 750.
Yep.
21 and a quarter.
Yep.
21 5. 21 750.
Yep.
22 and a quarter. 22,000 in the room. Going once.
Yep.
22 and a quarter. 22 5. He said he's done. I'm at 22 and a quarter online. Anybody in the room want to give me 22 5? 22 and a quarter online. Going once, twice. 22 and a quarter online. My backup bidder is 242. Anybody here today for number 4020, 4020? Anybody want that one today? That's what you're here for.
Yeah.
She's been sitting back there just patiently waiting. At least the waiting part. Number 4020, Strawberry Lake Road. It's a 2.23 acre piece of parcel of land. I'm not sure. It says it's unbuilt. Is it wet? Is that what it is? A little marshy? $850. I've got it right there. Anybody want to give me 900? 850 going once, twice. That's your swampland now. $850. What's the better number? 850 number 113. Anybody here today for number 4022? There is no house on this property. You still interested? 4022 is what we're on. I need $29,500. I've got it bid right there. 10 acres it is. 29.5 right here. Anybody in the room want to give me 29,750? Anybody? What about online?
Yep.
Oh, we got it over there. Now 30,000. 30 and a quarter.
Yep.
30 and a half. Now 30,750.
Yep.
31,000. Now 31 and a quarter. 31,000.
Yep.
31 and a quarter. You want to give me 32? 32 and a quarter. 32,000 in the room.
Yep.
32 and a quarter. How about 33? 33 and a quarter. Little slow transmission on the internet.
Yep.
How about 34? 34 and a quarter. What about 35,000? 35 and a quarter.
Yep.
36. 35.5, 35,750.
Yep.
Now 36. 36 and a quarter.
Yep.
36 and a half. 36,750.
Yep.
37,000. 37 and a quarter.
Yep.
37.5. 37,750.
Yep.
38,000. 38 and a quarter.
Yep.
38.5. 38,750.
Yep.
39,000. 39 and a quarter.
Yep.
39.5. 39,750.
Yep.
40,000. 40 and a quarter.
Yep.
40 and a half. 40,750.
Yep.
41,000. 41 and a quarter.
Yep.
41.5. 41,750.
Yep.
42 and a quarter. Ooh.
Yep.
Oh, 42.5. 42,750. 42.5 in the room.
Yep.
42,750. 43,000. Now 43 and a quarter.
Yep.
43.5. 43,750.
Yep.
44,000. 44 and a quarter.
Yep.
44.5. 44,750.
Yep.
45,000. 45 and a quarter.
Yep.
45 and a half. 45,750.
Yep.
46,000. 46 and a quarter.
Yep.
46.5. He said he's done. I'm at 46,250 online. Anybody in the room want to give me 46.5? Anybody anywhere? 46,250 going once. Twice. 46,250 online. My backup bidder is 247. You must all be waiting for the last piece. Number 4024 is not even circled in my book. I bet nobody's waiting for it. 4024, anybody here for that piece? Nope, they're just here to see the show. We're on the way to Monroe. Thanks for coming in. See you next year. There is nothing. We just reserve the right of an annual. If you buy it, the trees are generally going to be included. So yep. Shouldn't be. If you need a different it would have been. It would have been removed by.
From like April to prison.
Sewer bills are gonna be yours. The mowing, if the treasurer was made aware of it, it should already be the minimum bid. If it's not, then it's yours.
Okay.
But if we're aware of it, it's already been included.
Okay, well, no, it was, because that's what we wanted to know,
For mowing, only for me. Right. Yeah, don't let him try to tag you for an old bill.
Okay.
But that's not yours.
And that's what they were saying was mowing, because it was their mowing, doing 2007.
That's right. You can get $1 a yard for it.
Thank you.
Hey, you betcha.
Of course, sir.
You betcha. there won't be much left. What may happen with some of them is they may be bundled with other pieces and filed.
Yeah.
They might require demolition.
Yeah.